Hello everybody. Welcome to Monday Night Live. Just making sure my screen's good. Oh shoot, I don't have one of my gloves. Hang on. You go on vacation and you forget how everything works. Ooh. Okay, please hold. Okay. Okay, I'm here. Sorry about that. I took a weekend off and I forget how all the things work. Okay, let's get this moved over here, out of the way. Hello, Keys on Behance. Welcome to the stream. I miss you. You say hi to everybody? You say hi to everybody? You got hair in your face. Okay. All right. We are back here today with the tarot card that we were working on last week. I have not touched it since, unfortunately. It's been a busy week. So I'm excited to get back to this now. So here we are. Yeah, so anybody who missed last week, we kind of, I had finished the line art and we went in and did all the coloring last week. And then we were able to do kind of the main shading for most of the stained glass sections. And then this week I'm going to go in, maybe add some of the we're going to add some of the shading for the other sections, and then maybe kind of add in some of our shadows and kind of just build this up a little bit more. That's the plan. So here we go. So just trying to orient myself here. Okay. Keys, things are good. Things have been busy, but a lot of my big scary to-do list is kind of out of the way right now, so I'm feeling pretty good. Big news, actually. I sent all of my Halloween and holiday prints to print last Thursday. So all of that's off the hook. I have some things left to do. I have some like the packaging to order, and there's a stand I want to get for my booth. And then like the putting it all together, there's some kind of like maintenance and stuff that's gotta happen once those products are ready. But the main big creation part is done. So I just have like one more printer to pay, and then we're all set. So huge news, so huge thing off my plate, which is great. And now I can get to some of the pieces I want to work on before the holidays. So I'm very excited, especially a little bit more tarot in a day, which is very exciting. And how are you? How's everybody doing? How was our weekend? How was our Monday? Okay, what is the matter? Okay. You're gonna leave everybody alone, yes? Thank you. He was on vacation this weekend and has forgotten all the rules. So we might have some noisy mojo minutes. You go play, buddy. Yes, you. Sit in your bum. Sorry, guys. Just kind of reorienting ourselves today. We sit? Excuse me. Sit down. Okay, I'm going to do this now, okay? Okay, so with that shading in there, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to duplicate this layer and then clear it. The only thing that does, that I just did there, is just maintains kind of the multiply all the settings I put on that I want to keep here. Didn't really save me a whole pile of time, but just kind of how I prefer to do it. You could just create a new layer and have it be a multiply too. That's just fine. But for right now, we're going to switch over to this brush, which we already... Nope, that's a lie. I'm not going to do that. Mojo, can you leave the neighbors be, please? This isn't what I want. I want one of these. I think it's this one. I think so, eh? Or is it... No, it's definitely not that one. Okay. He says, a lot of work getting ready for the winter. Yes, that's good. It sounds like a lot of us illustrators are kind of, artists in general, I think, are all kind of getting ready for whether you do Christmas markets or whether you just have an online shop or whatever the deal is. Everybody's really busy right now, so getting ready for that kind of stuff. So I'm going to use a gray for on the black ones. I didn't really like how that brown was playing the game. So just for the top of our lid here, I'm going to be putting our dark splatter in just to kind of give us our dimensions here. I'm trying to remember if we did the color inside. Did we do that last time? Yeah, let's keep doing that. So those of you who missed this last week, I haven't used this a lot, but we used it a little bit last week. I'm using the color inside feature. So that's kind of using that reference layer that I've used before where I make the liner reference layer and it will keep it in mind. So if I'm using like the fill tool, like the paint bucket, it'll just factor in where the lines are, which helps keep things really clean and kind of, you won't watch me doing all that erasing that you normally would watch. But the color inside works the same way. So what I did was, because my reference layer has each little section, like the box is on one layer, the hands on one layer, the candles are on one layer, it doesn't lend to a reference very well, and you can't reference a group. So that's what this duplication layer at the top that's hidden is. I duplicated the group with all the line art, and I moved it up and merged it all, so it's all one layer, and then made that the reference layer. I hid it. We can delete it out later or just not show it. It's not going to do anything really if I turn it on. Like, it might make some lines look a little bit thicker than they would be just because there's two in a row. But all it's doing there for me is giving us that reference so that when I do these coloring things and want to use the line art, then it will be a lot more efficient and less cleanup for me to do later. I would recommend though, if you have detailing like I do here, I left the stained glass lines in that layer when I merged everything. I would probably not do that for myself in the future, just because doing the bows I wasn't really able to use that reference layer because it just was all those tiny little sections, so not giving me the effect that I was hoping for. So I would just leave that layer out of the merge next time. Otherwise, this is just kind of going to be really cool. So when you see me color the section now, when I have this little icon here turned on, so the one that's blue on the screen, if you can't see where I'm pointing, that's the color inside feature. So now it's using that reference layer. And as long as I pick clearly within a section, you can see I'm going to put all this down here, but it's only filling that one section. It's not bleeding out, and I don't have to use the lasso and everything else. So just cleaning it up just a little bit, which is nice. I guess extra work on my side. I had to buy supplies to dry, pickle, and brine. Put away the last till next year in May. Ooh, that sounds like fun. Pickling things. I love that. That's so fun. Great technique from DTM. Dan, welcome to the stream. Thank you so much. Yeah, trying to use all these fun, oops, see, you have to put your pencil down in the section. Otherwise it's gonna, I like to kind of like gear up, so I'm getting used to like being ready in the section first, to touching the section first, but just an adjustment on my side. And yeah, I'm trying to just kind of like all these little things I'm learning about fresco as we go through here, trying to see how I can leverage them and use them. I did see when I loaded up my fresco this morning that there's a new like motion animation thing, which feels like perfect timing because I feel like it's what I want for my candles for animating. So now that my print stuff is all off to the printer for the year, I am hoping to have a few minutes maybe next weekend to sit with that and see if we can't leverage it a bit. Woof. All right, so the goal for this effect here is I'm using it a lot more on this card than I've used it in the past. There's been a lot more stained glass on past cards, but kind of the idea here is just to kind of give it, like, you know, when you look at stained glass and sometimes instead of it being broken down to these little chunks like this, it kind of has that marbly kind of look. That's a little bit of where I'm trying to go with this. Just kind of give it a bit of, instead of having just kind of a smooth shadow, give it a little bit of texture. And then from there, then because I'm not breaking it down into the sections, I have room to give it a little bit more buzzy business. Okay, hang on 1 second here. Oh, sorry, different chat. Boop, boop, boop. Just going to, there we go, so that we're not interrupted by noises. All the chats going on at the same time. Yeah, so the goal here is just to get a bit of a texture, and actually what I do want to do is go in here, and I'm just going to pull it back just a little bit from the edges, just like I do for the stained glass sections. Oh, and this is doing the inside as well, so color inside as well. Because I kind of want just the edges done, I want it close to the line, I'm going to turn that off for right now. Paint inside, sorry, is what that feature is called. Because I just want a little bit of the brush attacking here. So I want this to have that stained glass look, that kind of pulled from the edge. So we'll just erase that little tiny bit. Instead of erasing for each and every section. Let the art work for you here. And pulling this back is good for the effect here, because this might be the kind of only effect I'm putting on these larger sections that aren't broken down. I'll probably, because there's so many of them, sorry, I may put a highlight in these as well. I haven't been so far, but again, this one's kind of a different approach. So I might add a highlight, but I'm doing the pullback now because that's the effect I'm going to add to these little tiny bow sections later. So that'll help these kind of be coherent this way if I just pull it back like this. I'm enjoying the fresco masterclass. Feels like this is a multimedia piece. Oh my gosh. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Yeah, the paper patterns have really given me a really a lot to play with, which has been really great. I want to kind of push them a little bit further. So that's some of the projects I'm actually going to work on this fall. A couple I want to just see where else, if I can really get a cool like collage effect going. Well, more of a collage effect going. But yeah, these paper patterns are really helping me with my color studies for sure. Oh, we have Borcel Design in the chat. Hello, welcome to the stream. How are we all tonight? Alrighty. I took an opportunity this weekend. I was out of town for an event, and I was talking with I was out for a wedding, and I was there with my friend, and we were getting our hair done, and I was talking to the hairdresser. She was asking us what we do and all that. And we were out of town, so she was asking us what we do and everything, and I explained what I did, and I showed her my pieces and stuff, and she like freaked out. She was so excited to see it. I love sharing the tarot with people because they like that paper pattern look. I love that it's something that has come into my style that I can use because it's becoming recognizable, which is super fun. I'm doing well, thank you. Excited to be hanging out with you guys here tonight. I'm excited to get back to this card. I haven't had a chance to work on it since last time, since last stream, so I'm very excited to get back to it a little bit here. So see, it's very subtle, but you see that kind of that little bit of a line that comes through there that gives it that little bit of separation. It may not matter too much because some of those are going to get covered with some of the heavier shadows we're going to put in later. But I like to put them in now because I don't want to forget about them. I want it to be consistent across the board. I just want to make sure that it's treated consistently. So I'm doing it all now. Some might get covered up, some might not. But I just want to make sure that they're all looking the same before those big shadows go in. Quick question, have you not been using the paint inside feature since my tip a while ago? To be honest, I have been using the paint inside feature for a little bit. Not so much on the stained glass so far, just because of these tiny little sections that we have here. It makes it a little difficult to use the paint inside feature. But then last week when I thought of like not including those lines, that I can use it a lot more now. So it's quite possible that you provided that suggestion. Sometimes I'll hear, oh, we've got fire trucks, guys. I am safe. It's fine. Busy road today. But it is quite possible that you provided the suggestion. So if it was you, thank you. I find with a lot of like new tools of software, especially when I'm teaching myself, I'll hear about a cool new tool and be like, oh, that's neat. I do it this way. So I won't use that right away, but then like I'll find a use case for my style and then use it that way. And then end up using it. So it is quite possible that you suggested it. So if it was you, thank you very much. It's always I always like a cool tool in a new software, but until I find a use case for it, I might not put it to use right away. Hey buddy, leave them alone. Not because I don't think the tool is valuable, just like it might not apply to my work, but that's why I like things like Max, and all those, and like watching the streams and stuff to see what people are using. Because hopefully, like, even if a cool tool that I'm not going to use right away comes up, hopefully it'll like stick in my brain a little bit. And then when I think of it, I'm like, oh, Keys did this thing on their stream. What was the thing? And then I can go back and find it. Thank you, Dan. I appreciate your comments. Everybody diving in. I don't have a moderator. All right. I hope everybody who streamed this weekend did really well. I saw all your notifications popping up, but important bridesmaid business kept me away from streams this weekend. So I'm going to try and catch up if I can. Still not familiar with Fresco. I can't recommend it enough. It's been a game changer in my digital work. Actually, what was I doing? I was going through some of my older pieces, like they're on my Behance profile right now. And when I started using these paper patterns in this style during the pandemic, and I was doing the Behance beauties and things for those of you who are following me that long, I was using the paper patterns, but I built them in Photoshop first. I didn't have Fresco. I was using my Wacom tablet. And I was my Wacom tablet and my MacBook Pro for a while, and then now I have my new setup. But I was using one of the files recently, and I was like, I think I loaded it into Fresco, or I was like, how did I build this? I don't know what's going on, but I forgot that it was kind of in my transition to learning Fresco, and so I had used Photoshop, and I was just like trying to figure it all out. But no, Fresco's been huge. He says, can't really claim credit though. I was thinking in Photoshop procedures. I think that's the best thing about this software is it's kind of a really good mix of the two. Like there's like the vector opportunity from Illustrator, but then you have some Photoshop techniques. that I'm finding a little bit easier on the iPad than I'm finding in Photoshop. I am, now that I'm kind of more familiar with them, I can transfer to Photoshop a lot easier. So it is nice when you're like, oh, I just want to do a quick technique. Like when I'm doing my mock-ups for these cards when they're done, that's in Photoshop on the desktop. Because I know some of the like tricky features on there a little better than I do on the iPad. So I like that it's all kind of transferable together. I really like that. Okay, so we're going to switch to a color one because I don't want to gray out a color brush. I want to get away from a gray because I don't want to gray out the rest of these guys. What am I going to do here? Okay, I'm going to put the paint inside back on. I don't think that's the right color for us right now. Let's see if we can get a bit of a, because this is so light, that's way too dark. Let's try something like this. It's a little more similar. There we go, that's better. I just want to get a bit of a kind of darker tone here without kind of like muddying up the look. Just keeping my light source in mind here, so that everything is kind of going on the same sections. RB is here. Welcome to the stream, sir. Teenager. You guys are so funny. You're so funny. I love it. Okay. So I'm going to do the same thing here. I strongly suspect that this oh, I don't want the paint inside on anymore. That's why that didn't work. That these tarot cards in the box are going to get really faded out once we get to putting the shadows in. Like I said, I didn't put a lot of detail on these on purpose because I think we're just going to be very subtle hints at a card here. Alessandra's here as well. Oh my gosh. What a time. Everybody's here at once. I love it. You just finished working. It's so late. Yuck. But I guess if it's important business. Everybody's here. Everybody's doing so good. Alessandra, how did your streams go on the weekend? I'm sorry I missed them. Dan, how's the Max prep going? I saw you have a session. Congratulations. Very exciting. That is so cool. I'm excited for Max this year. Okie dokie. Oh, we gotta pull back here. And we gotta put some darks on the black part of the card here, because that's something I'm definitely gonna forget until later. Be like, oh, I'll throw it in later, and then never do it. So let's throw those in next, and then we're good to go. Hang on. What are we doing? Leave the carpet alone, buddy. I'm serious, okay? Come on. Uh-oh. Alessandra was complaining. More progress on my zines. Great. Oh no, 2 zines short. You can do it. Oh no. Yeah, you gotta be careful. You never know who's lurking. Let's not fight. Let's all be friends. All right, so let's get... Oh, no, put the color inside, the paint inside back on. Just put some little edges here. This is where the paint inside is really nice, because even though I have to do each individual section, it's just kind of helping to keep things clean and a lot less clean at the erasing on this would be a lot. So I'm glad that we have that feature. Okay, so like I said, I do want to do highlights, but I think I want to see how. Where did that paint splatter come from? It is on this layer. What the heck? Oh, paint inside. That's why. I want to do the highlights, but I think I'm going to throw in the really dark shadows first, just because if they kind of overtake where I'd put the highlights, it'll just save us some time. I almost forgot today was Monday. Oops. Oh my gosh. I almost forgot yesterday for a minute that I took today off because to recover from the weekend. And I'm glad that I didn't forget, because I would have gone into work and been like, wait a minute. I'm not supposed to be here. All right, so let's work on some of the really dark shadows. Again, just going to duplicate this layer and then clear it. Not saving me a ton right now. Ton of time or any clicks or anything like that. It's just a way to like not have to worry about the multiply. All the settings are staying there. I just cleared out the content there. And because this is a place where I don't think that the paint inside is going to help me as much, because like I'm going to put a shadow under the hat. So to paint inside, I'd have to throw 2 or 3 shadows down because it's not going to cross all those lines. So I don't think it's going to work as well here. So it's kind of like a case-by-case situation. You saw how well it worked for the last lay down of color, but I think this would be a case where the paint inside is not going to help me much. It's going to actually make more work for me. So I want to avoid that. Your stream reminds me today is Monday in a great way. I'm so glad I could assist. Yeah, I do look forward to the stream on Mondays. Like I said, on busier weeks, it's a guaranteed bit of art in a day. So I like it. Oh man, Alessandra's going to Max. That's awesome. That would be so cool. I'd love to go. Okay. So we have to do a little manipulation here. Pull the shadow back. Because I want it to overlap so that I don't have to be too careful with the lasso, leaving some blank spaces. I want to make sure that we avoid that if we can help it. It's hard on the black paper patterns. Meet up and make some content. Do it. That would be amazing. That would be so good. Yeah, I'd really like to go to Max. I do have a market that exact weekend, but I am submitting for the free tickets for sure on Behance. I'm doing that this week to see what happens. If not, I might try and go next year. I really want to go to Max in person one year. I think that'd be amazing. Love that. Not free tickets, sorry. That was a very bad advertisement. That was my fault. It was the submission for kind of like when you submit your art to go to Behance. To go to Max, sorry. When they want you to submit your projects. I just said free tickets because that's what my brain keeps calling them. It's not really that. Where they submit your art and it's an opportunity to get your access to Max, I think. It's in Florida this year too, eh? Crazy. That's the one. The link that Dan is posting. Thank you so much. So much more coherent. I appreciate you guys helping me out. It is still Monday. Even if I was off today, my brain is still Monday mush. Yes, the Creativity Awards. So if you haven't seen that, go check it out. I'm going to be working on mine tomorrow. So much fun. There it is. So correct. Submit your creative projects to win a chance to win a ticket to Adobe Max. So that's what I'm going to do. So everybody else should definitely give that shot, because like Max would be great. Like I like the virtual that they've been doing over the pandemic. Like I feel like some of the content is kind of a little bit less and less as we go through. But I think that just because like they want people to go in person, which makes sense. And especially with all like the AI and the learning and everything like that, in person makes a lot of sense. So I'd like to go to in person 1 year. That'd be so great. Or 2 years or 3. Hope to make through the train rides and get there. Oh no, it'll make it worth it for sure. It's kind of fun that they switched up the location too. There was a bit of a joke, like the first time Adobe Max was up at a point where like my work sometimes will send some people to go, and I haven't had a chance to go yet, but like on behalf of my work. And so they sent 1 or 2 the first year, and then I was talking with some coworkers and they're like, yeah, next year it'll be your turn, and it's going to actually just be in Ontario, because it was in Vegas that year or something like that, and it was something really big fancy place, and then it was going to be somewhere else, all kinds of stuff. Like, yeah, the year you get to go is going to be like Toronto. But like, not that Toronto's not cool, but I've seen Toronto. I want to go somewhere cool. So I'm glad that they're doing all these big places. We're going through a gazillion states. Wow, the states have expanded since I checked a map last. I'm not in a situation covered by the Max. Oh, bummer. Oh, a bummer. Yeah, I'm so excited. I just like to see all the creativity ideas and what people are coming up with and how people find their inspiration. Like I really liked in the 2020 Max that was almost that was completely virtual. I liked seeing people, because they do a creativity talk. For those of you who haven't attended Max before, they do kind of a creativity keynote where they talk with different people in different capacities in the industry, and they talk about their creative process or their journey or how they got there or what tools they're using, all that kind of stuff. But the really cool thing in the pandemic was those people were doing that, and instead of just talking in front of a crowd, they were in their studio spaces doing all of these talks. So you got to see like a little bit more of their creative process, which is so much fun. So I enjoyed that kind of aspect of it. That was, I thought, pretty cool to see people's working spaces, because they have like all their sketches on the wall or ideas, so it helps you see how some of your favorite artists think and all that kind of fun jazz. Yeah, Kevin Hart was a guest. He did Sneaks, right? Always so fun. So Sneaks is like an event they do, like a and it's kind of like a sneak peek into some of the stuff that they're slowly coming up with, or it's not really ready to be presented yet, but is in work. And so they usually have a celebrity come to that to be like commenting on how crazy some of this fun stuff is, especially with AI and the virtual reality stuff. It's always super cool. I did a 3-part 3-day Adobe Illustrator on iPad session. I was trying to get oh good lord. Dan says, I did a 3-part 3-day Adobe Illustrator on iPad session. I was still trying to get over COVID in 2020. Oh my goodness. Well, we all appreciated you. Sorry, there's a glare on my iPad, so I can't see what I'm erasing. Hang on. Nope, what is happening? Oh, good lord. Just want to increase the brightness here because there's a glare. I don't usually have my overhead light on in my room here in my studio space, and I forgot why. This is why. Is Aquafina this time? That would be amazing. Yikes. At least if it was virtual, then you get to stay home, I guess. It's tiny silver lining, but holy, that's a lot of talking. Especially with the COVID. Yikes. Amazing. I've been trying to take a minute to check out the list of people. It's always a fun time. I like to see what people are up to. I usually get, like, if there's kind of a lull in the summer for my art, that's usually how I get the kick in the pants. But I've already got a lot going on, so I don't know what Max is going to do to my studio this year. All right. For those of you also, no, I'm just excited to see what people come up with. So it's very exciting. So I'm going to try and catch everybody's sessions as much as I can. It's going to maximize it. Hilarious. I love it. And those of you who are drawing and looking for a drawing challenge, Inktober has released all of their October prompts as well. It's a bit strange. Saw Kevin Hart and some experts from a previous Max. Yeah, he was there last year, I think. Last year? Year before? So yes, anybody looking for a drawing challenge, Inktober list is out. I don't know if I'm doing Inktober this year. Maybe I'll do a couple. We'll see. This time of year is full of fun things. Like, I find there's lots of things to fuel their creativity right now. So lots of things for you to use if you're a little bit stuck or aren't sure. I love it. I was going to go through the list there, and I like Inktober. Yeah, they have some interesting words this year, so I'm very intrigued. Like, I may do just like a couple or something. I like Inktober, says RB. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a good way to kind of like, I know it was one of the things that kind of really rejumped my studio stuff like in the pandemic. Max was one, and Inktober around the same time. It's in October usually, Max. So yeah, it was a really good kind of kick in the pants to get things rolling. So would recommend. Last year, RB did all 30 of them. Good for you. That is amazing. I didn't do Inktober last year. I was going to do something. I was going to switch it up and like write last year. But I was building the coloring book, and I was just super overwhelmed. And last year just was not an Inktober year. But wow, all 30 days, that's amazing. I love that. So much fun. Do you post them like on Instagram or Facebook or anything, RB? Because I know you don't have a portfolio on Behance. Just for people to get some inspiration. Should they be looking for it? Share the wealth. It's on Discord. Oh, right. Yeah. That makes a lot more sense. So if you follow on the Discord to see RB's awesome illustrations. I've been very negligent on the Discord lately. So I just kind of put these on like the live streams on. And I feel really bad, just like, look at my stuff, but I'm not commenting on anybody else's stuff. But I'm hoping to get better at that this fall. Now that all my stuff is off to print, I'm hoping to be a better social media human. Odari's pushing me to post on Instagram, but I don't care. That's okay. You do you, man. There's so much out there. It's really hard to kind of like cover all the bases. And then even then, sometimes you can't. Like, I'm doing a 30-day reel challenge right now. And one of my videos just didn't go to Facebook. It just didn't go to it. And it was like impossible to share. I was like, well, what? So I had to do a bunch of troubleshooting this morning to figure out what the heck was going on. So just like a lot to keep track of, man. If you don't want to do that, don't do it. It's fine. That's just fine. It's better if it's just stay away from it if it's not your thing. Don't let it suck you in. It's just an easy platform for me to use, so. There's definitely a lot on Instagram, that's for sure. So much information. All right. Yeah, so there's certain elements I find when I'm doing these pieces that really make them pop, and these dark shadows is one of them. I love these. I love putting these in because it just kind of like, even if you're not sure, it's you're not sure, like this is kind of one of those levels that if it's still not kicking after this, then I don't know, maybe I'm not in the right spot, like I'm not on the right track here. But usually this, the hierarchy lines, and then initially these shadows, and then putting those like sticker outlines and stuff afterwards, those are kind of like key points where I'm like, if it's not kicking there, then it's probably not gonna, it's just not quite right yet. But it's always comforting because usually it all just works out, which is so nice. We have Cynthia in the chat. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for joining in. We're working in Adobe Fresco. I did mention that earlier. We're in Adobe Fresco on the iPad right now, working on a tarot card. Oh no, I did something stupid. There we go. I forgot I had some shadows over top, but I think we're okay with what I put down. Let's clear these out a little bit. There we go. Whew. We have Iyad. I love your art. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining the stream. Okay, now I'm gonna put, it's not really with the light sources, but I'm gonna put a little tiny shadow here because I just want to separate it out a little bit. It kind of goes with the light source, especially down here, but that's okay. Just want to get a little bit of separation, just a little bit. Hang on. I might have done something silly. Just trying to think. I probably should have put like the sticker lines down first, like those big gray and white lines first before doing some of these. But some are shadows within. I think we're okay with what we did. Because this one's still like it's the first one that doesn't have a person, like a person kind of face almost in it. And just kind of the way the paper layers are going to work out, just a little different from other ones. So still figuring out the style a little bit through the cards in certain cases, which is keeping them exciting and interesting. But I'm just thinking, because I'm probably going to outline this hand on its own, which will cover up some of these shadows. But I can always enhance them or reduce them later if need be. I am going to throw pretty dark shadow in here because it's inside the box. Okie dokie smoky. Whoops. I want some more in here. Oh, nuts. I goofed the last one. That's okay. If we do this, we might be able to fix the mistake. This is why I always kind of go a little bit over where I need to be so that there's not those gaps. But I was more aggressive than with my shadow than I wanted to be. People in your neighborhood sure like speeding. It just sounds that way. The main road is very windy. So all people with their super fancy souped up cars are driving there. But there's a construction zone, so they can't be going that fast. So they just sound fast because they're very loud. You come sit with me? Okay, well, I'm almost done. Okay, bud? So they kind of sound fast, but really they're just kind of like at the light, waiting their turn. We have Mohammed in the chat. Hello, welcome to the stream. Oops. I was thinking about headphones or a microphone or something for this, but we're getting to cooler weather, so the windows will be closed soon. So I'll just keep an eye out for microphone things. Black Friday or something. Okay. Yeah. This is always a fun game on the black patterns. I'm always kind of guessing where the edge is. Luckily, it's like pixel versus vector, so when it gets really smooth, you know you're on the right edge. Okay. Alrighty. Oops, get rid of that. Oh, we have a second Mohammed in the chat. Wow, great work. Thank you so much. Welcome to the chat, everybody. Enjoying an international stream again tonight, which is always exciting. All right. Oh, nuts. I goofed it. Oh, poo. Okay. Okay, let's just do a solid erase here. I forgot that there were shadows on that one ribbon, so I just took them out so that we can... Took part of it out, so hopefully I can reapply it without making a mess. So silly. At one point it starts to, it's hard to keep track of what everything you got on a layer. That's why we use lots of them, but this is okay. So now, yeah, just like this. There we go. So I'm not going to put any in behind the hat and box just now, because I think what I was talking about with like the other lines will take care of that shadow after. So I am going to, on this one, do this one. I'm just going to give some color to the candles. So don't want them to be black and white in this card in particular. And then we just do, oh dear. If I do this and this, I just want to be as low maintenance as possible here. There we go. There we go. And we're just going to erase some of this edge here. Oops, so aggressive. There we go. So all I did there was just kind of picked one of the colors that we've already been using, a light color in this case, because I just wanted to give it a bit of a yellow tone, and made the layer an overlay over top so that the texture still peeks through but has a little bit of color to it now. RB said he was going to pack it in soon, and Alessandra said we didn't want to turn him into a zombie, but Dan says too late, he's his own particular kind of zombie. Oh, you guys, so funny. Oh, you guys, I love it. Okie dokie smoky. Hang on, something weird happened to my camera here. Sorry, it looks like my camera for this, the iPad doesn't work. Hang on a sec. It froze. Hang on a second, hang on a second. Where's the camera that does the thing? This one? Come on, you. I think my phone is just tired of me, I think. It has, it's been having enough of my business. So actually what I'm going to do, I'm just going to turn it off. That's okay, guys. Just for right now, so we're not distracting. I will fix that for next week. Sorry, guys. It was working for a minute, but I want to take away from the stream itself there. So maybe if I turn it back on now. No, it's still frozen. Okay. I've been having some troubles with my phone the past couple days. I think I have like too many photos or something. Hang on. It's like, Mojo, leave them alone. Sorry, guys. Hang on 1 sec. Dude. Apologies. Yeah, Mojo's not having any of this business. Yeah, I know. I'm the worst. Poor Mojo. New neighbors in the hall. Not a fan. Okay. So we're going to keep that background. Yeah, no, still frozen. Okay, I'll stop trying that. Okay, just leave it, buddy. Okay, so... Okay, we did pull that back. That's good. Now, actually, while we're doing these shadows, I think I want to apply some to, excuse me, the ribbon here. Right. Well, though the problem for mine keys is I'm pushing it well past its limit. My phone is ready to be replaced, and I'm one of the people who will run my tech until it just quits on me. So I think I have like too many photos and stuff from the weekend is really what I've got going on. So I just have to clear some of those off, I think. But it's been giving me a bit of a struggle bus lately. I'd like to not replace it just yet, but we'll see. We'll see. It's been paid off for some time, and it's ready to be let go. All right, yes. Okay, so this is what I was waiting for last week. That's why there's nothing in these sections of the ribbon, because I didn't know how I was going to do this. I wanted to see how these shadows might play in, and I think they're going to be good. Oh, now we've started the Android versus iPhone debate. Oh no, I had one of those on the weekend too. Good Lord. To each their own, I guess. Okay. Whoops. They did just announce the new ones. One of those action cams can be tethered. It's not prone to failures, and they actually last you longer since it won't be going up mountains like RB. Yeah. Usually when I do replace my tech, I'll try and get the closest, latest and greatest within reason so that I can do what I'm doing for longer. All right. Good night, RB. Thanks for tuning in. So that, yeah, just like run it as far as it can go for much longer. You know, they just launched the new iPhones and such, so we'll see. We'll see. I'm pretty sure it's a space issue. I think just from the weekend I took lots of photos and filled it up. So it just has a little less flexibility on it right now. So I'm sure we can remedy it shortly. All right, I'll throw this. Oh dear. That isn't what I wanted, but that's okay. We can make this work. Pew, pew. All right, one more shadow and we'll see where we're at. Actually, that's a lie. We have a couple shadows we still have to throw down here. Let's see. Yeah, that's fine. No, that's not what I wanted though. No, for Pete's sake. Let's try again. Oh, Aaron. Don't cross that line. I've done it 4 times now. Sillies. Okay, I know, buddy. Here, go, boy. Oops. Aaron, come on, girl. Alright, and there's a few more shadows I definitely want to be putting in here. Like adding some we're gonna add in these dark shadows. I forgot I'm gonna put them in the ribbons as well. So underneath, like here. Oops, too far. There we go. No, just leave them alone, buddy, okay? You're fine. Oh, goodness me. You're okay, bud. Whoops. Yeah, I'll use my other light next week. I can't see this one very well. So I'm going to be putting in more shadows like that to make the ribbon really pop off the page there. So I'm going to continue with that. And then I'm going to highlight and shade the stained glass. And then I think we're going to do the outlines. See what's going to go in there next. Some shadows, all kinds of fun things. So we still have a lot to do here. A lot more work to be playing around with. But I think that's the next set of steps. We're going to do some shadows, some outlines, and then see what we can't bring into life in some of the other little sections. Like once I do all those kinds of normal process things, we'll see what kind of is still sitting a little flat or what might be too busy. And we can add, so that's where that kind of like playing around at the end happens. But I think that's a good breaking point for now. I think we've made a lot of good progress today. I'm pretty happy with this so far. I do like how that ribbon's really popping. That's great. Those shadows are really doing what I hoped that they would do in there, which is super awesome. So yeah, I think that's all we're going to do for tonight. I want to thank Alessandra, Keys, RB, Dan, Mohammed, Cynthia was here. Everybody else who tuned in, do keep an eye out for everybody else's streams. Alessandra tends to stream Friday and on the weekends. Dan's streaming Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday at 10, I believe. So keep an eye out for those. Sometimes they're on Instagram as well, and Behance. So take a look. You won't be disappointed. They're always a lot of fun. The chats are very lively. So definitely check them out. Yeah, and keep an eye out for on the social media because I'm starting to post everything that's coming up for the fall right now. That's coming in at for Halloween, for my market on Thanksgiving. And then I'm also going to have all my Christmas stuff coming out soon. So keep an eye on the socials for sure. You might get a couple sneak peeks on my reel challenge that's going on very soon. So keep an eye out. We have thanks for the stream. Thanks for the stream. Good job. Thank you, everybody. I really appreciate you coming in. Chatting with you is always a lot of fun as well. So thank you so much. I will be back next Monday, same time and everything. Maybe with this card, maybe with a new card. Who knows? We'll see what we're working on. But I hope you all have a fabulous week, and I will catch you all next week. Bye, guys.